Grisi, ibambe na Quickmart. Quickmart, fresh and easy.
16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an opportunity to make a difference for the better. Every one of us has a role to play to end gender-based violence. Join us to unpack what gender-based violence really means, what it means in Kenya, and the actions we can take to stop it.
When I cook Nutri for my family, I always use my 4-to-1 rule. To begin with, mix 1 cup of Nutri with 4 cups of cold water, and then you stir it and try and get a smooth consistency. Heat up your stove, then you pour your mixture into your pot or pan. Cook it for at least 5 to 8 minutes, and voila, you're done.
Nutri, every spoonful counts.
This is NTV.
It's a minute to the top of the hour, and this is the bulletin that you need to be tuning in for your day's news. And yes, the numbers keep rising. Concerns are high as the state of health in our health centers around the country is very, very critical. The clinicians as well as the nurses vow not to go back to work, and some even telling patients if they are to go to hospital, they shouldn't expect any treatment. And if you have any loved one in hospital, then you should probably have them discharged. Things are tough. These are the top stories.
Tonight,
do not make insensitive remarks against frontline workers who are risking their lives.
unhappy, restless and resolute professionals.
Today, we have said enough is enough.
An apologetic government.
Ministry of Health will endeavor to ensure that all healthcare workers are paid their dues in good time.
And the sorry state of public hospitals.
If you have patients in the wards, work as fast as possible and withdraw those patients from the wards.
Healthcare in crisis. Also tonight,
if I could be allowed to give my statement incognito.
Skeletons keep falling out of the Kemsa closet.
He told me to backdate them.
Scared Secretary reveals dirty games in the award of a billion-shilling tender to a 3-month-old company. Plus, charting Africa's post-COVID pandemic future. NMG's Second Continental Thought Leadership Forum opens in Kisumu. Also ahead, she boiled stones to play mind games with her hungry children.
Nashukuru Mungu, Mungu amenitoa kwa mawe, sasa niko kwa raha. Nikaona yani hata watoto wangu kula wanakula vizuri, yani wamekuwa kama watoto wengine.
Now, she's a proud owner of a stone house. Goodness is still alive and well.
NTV Tonight with Mark Masai.
Good evening. I'm not alone with Flora Tieno in our sign language interpretation backed by a full team. Now tonight, a health crisis is brewing with healthcare workers insisting that they will not relent on their fight to get their concerns addressed. Key services and hospitals continue to suffer, with clinical officers and nurses staying away from work. Leila Mohammed reports that patients across the country are finding it increasingly hard to access services.
A vigil to remember the departed. Healthcare workers gathered at the Uhuru Park Tuesday to honor their fallen colleagues who have lost the fight against a global pandemic that continues to ravage nations.
So sad that we are called frontline soldiers, but we are not cared for.
In their anger, the healthcare workers have expressed their concerns of what they claim is the government's choice to not see them as an important part of healthcare in the public sector.
Yes, we sacrificed that time. Today, we have said enough is enough. Let the people who have been favored by the government go and serve the patients. Let them work for the risk allowance. Let them take the risk today as we sit back.
While the standoff ensues, the situation in hospitals across the country was one of desperation and fear of the unknown. In Makueni County, Sami Munyao, who was diagnosed with throat cancer a year ago, visited Makueni Cancer Treatment Center on appointment to continue with treatment, but was turned away.
Daktari ana makosa, anaitisha haki yake. Ninaomba serikali ilipe madaktari ili madaktari waweze kuamka tuache kuumia.
At the waiting bay of the cancer unit was Joseph Munyole, who was being fed with porridge and mandazi by relatives. His daughter Margaret, hoping the nurses' strike will end soon, saying her father's health is deteriorating.
Lazima tumletee kitu wakati anaendelea na kungojea huduma ndio asikue kwa hali mbaya.
Makueni County Health Executive Andrew Mulwa said operations at different health facilities across the county have scaled down and only medics working under contracts were on duty.
Koti ilipeana court order ndio madaktari au wafanyikazi wa afya katika kaunti ya Makueni wasiweze kwenda mgomo mpaka hiyo kesi ikuwe hard and determined.
In Mombasa, the situation is similar for patients who had to go back home from the Coast General Hospital.
Hapa Makadara jana sikupata matibabu kabisa.
Serikali ya Mombasa haijaweza kuwa ikilipa mishahara kwa wakati ufaao.
In Kisumu, nurses who spoke at the media conference say they are in solidarity with their colleagues across the country.
If you have patients in the wards, work as fast as possible and withdraw those patients from the wards.
In Busia, patients sat in the wards waiting to be attended, but many who were there to care for them complained of extra expenses that they had to incur. In Kakamega, Kuku and KNUN officials from the region made a tour of health facilities seeking to urge their colleagues to join in on the strike.
Tuko hapa leo kwa sababu ya kusisitiza ya kwamba mgomo ambao tulisema unaanza leo umeshaanza.
However, in Murang'a Level 5 Hospital, operations seemed to flow as usual. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
Amid this brewing crisis, doctors now say that this time they will make good their threat to go on strike at the expiry of the 14 days grace period just before Christmas. Doctors suspended the strike to give dialogue a chance, but claim the government is not being sincere. Helen Aura reports.
A dark cloud hangs over Iranda village in Kitutu Chache South Sub-County, Kisii County. The village is mourning one of its own, the latest doctor to succumb to COVID-19. The late Dr. Stephen Mogusu, the only son in a family of 6, joins the list of doctors who have died in the line of duty. 13 doctors and 42 other healthcare workers, including nurses and clinical officers, have succumbed to COVID-19.
They had to fundraise as a class for 200,000 deposit to the ICU. As we speak, there is a bill that is yet to be paid.
So we're in discussions to ensure that the family is able to get the aid that they require, but additionally that we're able to ensure that this is not a situation that recurs amongst other healthcare workers.
But doctors have set a new commencement date for their strike, and it will be a dark Christmas if the professionals fail to report for duty on the 21st of December.
The Minister of Health will endeavour to ensure that all healthcare workers employed under the Universal Healthcare Programme and those on short-term contracts are paid their dues in good time.
The doctors want a health service commission as well as a comprehensive health cover, which will shield them and their families during this pandemic as well as future pandemics.
So we are not saying our nurses should not be in solidarity with the national government. Lakini wakuwe solidarity, wakiwa kazi, kwa sababu kwa niaba ya wananchi ambao walituchagua sisi tusimamie health sector katika Tharaka Nithi County, tumefanya kila kitu. Kwa hivyo wanakosea mwananchi, na ndio sababu tumesema warudi kazi.
They have also called out political leaders over their insensitivity on the matter.
We like to caution the political leadership of this country. Do not make insensitive remarks against frontline workers who are risking their lives to save Kenyans and to save this country.
But as they fight for better terms, the doctors are currently not receiving their salaries on time, while adequate personal protective gear is hard to come by. Helen Aura, NTV.
As lives have been lost to this pandemic, many were making a killing, literally. And we're talking about the Kemsa scandal, and we'll be having a bit more detail on this as there is some dirt coming out and a few more skeletons from the Kemsa closet, as a secretary of the suspended procurement manager narrated to the Public Investment Committee today of how the suspended CEO forced her to backdate documents of a newly registered company to enable it win a lucrative tender. A bit sickening there. We'll be getting the full report in a moment with Eunice Omolo. To the COVID situation in the country and the number of patients who have been found to have been infected with the coronavirus are now 89,100 after 521 tested positive from a sample size of over 4,700. So far, 1,545 people in Kenya have lost their lives to COVID-related complications, with 14 people succumbing today. On a positive note, however, 425 COVID-19 patients have recovered, raising the total to 69,800. Quick recovery to those who are receiving the treatment at the moment. And do keep safe. These are lives, not just numbers. But there is some hope. A 90-year-old woman has ended up being the very first individual to be provided a COVID jab as part of the mass inoculation program being rolled out throughout the United Kingdom. The UK is the very first nation on the planet to begin utilizing the Pfizer vaccination. After regulatory authorities accepted its use recently, the inoculation drive will certainly target as much as 4 million individuals by the end of December.
Keenan received one of the first 800,000 dosages of the Pfizer vaccination that will be given in the coming weeks. The UK is the first country in the world to start using the Pfizer vaccine after regulators approved its usage last week. The country's Ministry of Health has already placed orders of 40 million dosages, estimated to cater for 20 million people. 2 Pfizer dosages are required for complete immunity. A big set is anticipated in January 2021. Despite the fact that today is a momentous occasion, the UK is still pinning its hopes on the British-made Oxford University vaccine, which is being checked out by regulators. The National Health Service is nonetheless faced with a significant task in presenting the vaccination program and storing the vaccines at ultra-cold temperature levels to obtain a smooth supply. There have already been records of production problems, meaning the UK is anticipating less than half of the 10 million doses of the Pfizer jab it was planning for by the end of the year. Back in August, Russia signed up Sputnik 5 for emergency usage, although it had just been tested on a few dozen people. Currently, physicians, instructors and social workers in Russia are being offered Sputnik 5 in a mass inoculation campaign ordered by the president. But Sputnik 5 is still in the middle of trials to examine that it's safe and it works, making some Russians wary of obtaining it yet.
Definitely, the world is watching as Margaret responds to this particular jab that she received in the last few hours, and the first of around 800,000 people in the UK who will be getting it in the next few weeks. That's this vaccination. It's not the only vaccination that has been approved, as the Oxford vaccination that they have been working on has also been ordered throughout the UK, actually in the millions. And the world, Africa is watching. Of course, no one wants to be left behind, and we will see what becomes of this. But the World Health Organization has also said that the vaccination is not panacea to this particular pandemic. Your measures, that is wearing your masks, keeping your distance, washing your hands, is as good a measure as a vaccination. It's better to prevent it. So far, that is the sure way of dealing with this pandemic. To that scam that we have been talking about, people have been profiting out of this pandemic, believe it or not. More dirt has been dug out in the ongoing probe into the scandal-ridden Kenya Medical Supplies Agency, KEMSA. A secretary of the suspended procurement manager narrated to the Public Investment Committee how the suspended CEO forced her to backdate documents of a newly registered company to enable it to win a lucrative tender. Eunice Omolo has that story.
My request is that if I could be allowed to give my statement incognito.
Pamela Kaburu, a secretary at KEMSA to the suspended procurement manager, Charles Juma, expressed how uneasy she was discussing what transpired at her place of employment before dropping the bombshell before the National Assembly's Public Investment Committee on Tuesday. The request was discussed for a couple of minutes before the media was let back in. It had been decided that she speaks publicly, and that's when she dropped the bombshell.
There is a letter of I know that was backdated, is the one that the CEO gave me instructions to do, because he told me to backdate the letter.
Backdate the letter?
Yes.
Pamela narrated to MPs how suspended CEO John Manjari forced her to backdate a commitment letter of a 3-month-old company that won 900 million Kenya shillings tender to supply personal protective equipment, PPEs. She stated that Manjari ordered her to change a letter for shop and buy from the earlier date of May 8th to April 30th and deliver it to his office.
What are the reasons?
I do not know. I do not know.
And
I will not question him. I would not question him. Why am I backdating?
She told the committee that many commitment letters to companies that supplied to KEMSA were issued at the CEO's office without the knowledge or passing through the procurement manager's office as required. He narrated to MPs that Mr. Juma would always be called by the CEO, even on weekends and even when he was on leave, to come to work and issue some commitment letter, despite his earlier advisory that the agency should stop procuring for PPEs since they had enough. Juma claimed that last week the former CEO threatened him as he told him to sign commitment letters for companies that were not among those pre-qualified to supply KEMSA, warning him that he does not know the people he has been meeting. Eunice Omolo, NTV.
Just before we take a break, studies were disrupted today at Lugulu Girls High School in Bungoma after the Form 4 candidates stormed out of the institution and demonstrated to the Webuye police station, alleging that one of them had been sexually assaulted in the bathroom on Saturday morning. The said assailant is reported to have fled from the scene of crime and has not yet been identified or arrested. The picketing students expressed concern about their safety in school and feel vulnerable now that they are fewer in number. They accused the school administration of downplaying the incident and called on police to investigate the matter. The victim of the assault was treated at the school's dispensary. 16 minutes past the hour, and most of today, if you managed to tune in, you probably saw the opening of the Kusi Festival, the NMG's Kusi Festival that looks at a post-COVID Africa and the prospects therein. We'll be getting the highlights to that after the break.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
Kitisuru Amani Gardens apartments located near the International School of Kenya are almost complete. American kitchen with featured cabinets, solar panels, bedrooms with an ensuite master bathroom, swimming pool, gym, backup generator and borehole, among other features. Call us. Our Kenyan number is +254 733 926 935. In the USA, call +1 205 948 7797. Kitisuru Amani Gardens Apartments, where elegance and luxury meet.
Rock Industries brings you rock plastic with a variety of kitchenware, ranging from kitchen dishes, cups, plates, clothesline pegs, spoons, and even rulers for learners. All these coming in your preferred size, beautiful colors and texture, and our products are one shop away from where you are across the country. All Rock Industries Limited products are 100% virgin raw material that is cost-friendly. For these and more products, contact our offices on 0722 575619 or 0736-02-8181. You can also visit our offices in Industrial Area, Ndume Road, off Longa Longa Road, Nairobi.
Rhino Mabati Factory Limited is a manufacturer of custom-made roofing mabati up to 6.5 meters that save up to 25% on off-cuts cost. We offer fast free delivery countrywide. You can now enjoy our Christmas mega sales on all tile profile charcoal grey matte finish gauge 28 at only 645 shillings per meter. Visit any of our factory showrooms in Kitengela along Namanga Roads or Meru Makutano.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Honestly, babe, what is chai bila maziwa?
I know, darling. Like in this lactose-free milk. Is it even real milk?
Why don't you ask the expert? Me! Gold Crown lactose-free milk is 100% natural cow's milk. The only difference is that the lactose in the milk has already been broken down, making it easier to digest. So no more funny feelings in the tummy.
Wow! And it tastes just like regular milk.
Because it is. And you've heard it from the cow's mouth.
What a relief. Thank you, Gold Crown.
If regular milk makes you feel uncomfortable, try Gold Crown lactose-free milk. Milk that loves you.
Maxi!
Pinky?
No, squeeze umeamua kudowngrade. I'm sorry, who are you? I'm his girlfriend.
Hey!
Rhyme, umesikia? Mimi nafanya hizi vitu zote kwa sababu nakupenda.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa, eh?
Kuna pombe yako nimekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana na sera.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
NTV Tonight with Mark Masai.
Welcome back. Do not leave us behind as you seek to actualize your recovery plans. This is the President Uhuru Kenyatta's call to developed countries on the desired support to less developed nations in the war against COVID-19. He was speaking at the opening of the first day of the Kusi Ideas Festival 2, put together by the Nation Media Group in collaboration with the Kisumu County government. One of the rallying calls at the forum was the need to have unity of purpose among African countries as they progress in the pandemic war.
The COVID-19 pandemic situation has been in the country for about 9 months now. And along the way, the government and other stakeholders have made investments which they speak of. However, there still remain concerns on some of the priorities and the application of the resources.
When we began this response, we had only an 8-bed isolation facility at Kenyatta National Hospital. Today, through the efforts of both levels of government and our partners, we have about 7,000 isolation facilities across the country. When we started, we had about 56 ICU beds. Today, we have 320 ICU beds.
So we have seen major expenditure, but in the wrong area given the stage where we were in the pre-pandemic. Okay. And if we don't go back to prevention and stop counting the beds that we have which are sitting there with nobody on it, then I don't think that we're going to have much effect in reducing the brutality.
So far at the second chapter of the Kusi Ideas Festival, there are calls for African countries to work together to ensure that there's a more formidable recovery.
Our development partners and the international financial institutions should take a long-term view and dispense with any short-term requirements or considerations that would only serve to slow down Africa's economic recovery.
We must find new ways to invest in infrastructure, in our people, and in an enabling political and business environment.
The response to COVID-19 in most African countries has been spectacular. In January this year, when the pandemic broke, apart from maybe South Africa, no other African country had laboratories that could test for the virus. But by February, 3 had. And today, all of them do.
Economies are struggling and seeking to find ways to recover. In all this, there is the call for integrity to ensure that it is a sustainable recovery.
We are a rich continent with bad governance, and that bad governance has exposed us to unnecessary loss and abuse of our natural and human resources.
That still represents less than 5% of global investments. We are very tiny compared to other places. Okay. And increasing, I think what we need to be doing is investing in ourselves.
This is Kusi Ideas Festival 2. Day 1 is done, and so am I. Dan Mwangi, NTV, in the county of Kisumu.
Tune in for day 2. We'll be having it throughout the day. Remember the story of a widow in Kisauni, Mombasa County, who boiled stones in the guise of food just to give her children hope? Well, Penina Kitsao, a mother of 8, has just moved into her newly constructed house, expressing hope in a new life. 8 months after her story was first aired, NTV's Kevin Mutai visited her and saw the change that has come about after Kenyans rallied together to help.
When we visited Penina Kitsao 8 months ago in her 2-bedroomed house in Kisauni constituency, she was busy tending to her children. Today, she is narrating a different story. It's a new life that is reflected in this modern house. We found the 36-year-old widow and a mother of 8 moving into the new building just a few days after construction ended.
Wa Kenya, nashukuru, mmenisaidia sana. Mahali nilikuwa niko mahali kwa shida, lakini sasa ukiingia kwangu unatamani ulale hapo. Nashukuru. Mungu amenitoa mahali kwa shida, sasa niko mahali kwingine.
In April, Penina puzzled many when she boiled stones in the guise of food so as to trick her youngest son that a meal was getting ready. NTV aired her plight and Kenyans of goodwill showered her with food and money.
Nashukuru Mungu mawe imebadilika nyumba. Nashukuru Mungu. Mungu amenitoa kwa mawe, sasa niko kwa raha. Nikaona yani hata watoto wangu kula wanakula vizuri, yani wamekuwa kama watoto wengine.
She is now planning to rent out 3 of the rooms so as to support her family financially, as well as maintain other small businesses she is running in the area. Penina was widowed in 2019 when her husband was allegedly attacked and killed by armed robbers. That was a period of real anguish for her because a few months after, in May 2020, she also lost her 4-month-old baby after a short illness.
Sasa nilikuwa nimebaki niko hapa ndani, lakini niko na mawazo karibu yote. Akaendelea hivyo, pesa imeingia, mtoto Mungu akakuwa amempenda zaidi. Mtoto akapita. Lakini pia huyo mtoto alikuwa yuko na shida. Yeye ukimwona anajifuta hiki kitu. Anajifuta. Hiyo shida alikuwa nayo.
Despite the hurdles in life, Penina and her children have every reason to smile after their lives took a twist and changed for the better. Kevin Mutai, NTV in Kisauni, Mombasa County.
Oh, thank you to Kevin Mutai and team for sharing that story. Penina for the courage to share that story, however much it might have been humiliating at the first part when we first shared it 8 months ago. And thank you most of all to the Kenyans who made that possible. You changed a life. Whatever you sent to contribute, help her and her family. Something to smile about. I don't smile that much on the bulletin, but hey, this is well worth it. Business News is up next. Stay with us.
We are here today to pay our tribute to Dudu. Dudu was full of life. He bit, stung, and made people itch at his own will. He spread malaria with great pride. To the family, stay strong and believe that the larvae he has left behind will follow in his wings.
I heard he was killed by mosquito. His family does not know yet. I said he was killed by mosquito.
Mosquito kills mosquitoes, cockroaches, and all household insects. Confetti! A product of Osho Chemical Industries.
We are very proud as Britam Asset Managers to serve as a fund manager for Lab Fund. And our role as a fund manager has then been to make sure that we get appropriate assets to invest into to be able to match the long-term liabilities that Lab Fund is carrying on behalf of its members. We invest with Lab Fund into a variety of asset classes. So we typically have been investing on the listed stock exchange, on the listed equities market. So I think we've done a lot as far as diversification is concerned. And I'm very glad to note that with Lab Fund, those are the kinds of opportunities that we are considering actively from the point of view of diversification to make sure that those liabilities continue to grow. We still have assets one can be able to contribute.
Lab Fund, celebrating 60 years of service.
Every day, you hear news reports about the violence that children face.
We face sexual violence that tears our lives apart. We are beaten in our homes where we're supposed to be safe and even in school. We are insulted and berated.
If you see me being sexually abused, stop it.
If you see me being beaten, stop it. If you see me being hit, stop it.
If you see me being bullied, stop it.
The violence against us will not end until you stop it. And the stories will remain the same until you change them.
Any form of violence against children is wrong. Report cases of abuse to a trusted adult, children's officers, the police, or call the Child Helpline 116. Spot it and stop it.
With the Stay Soft refill, saving money is as easy as snip, pour, mix with water, and shake. Stay Soft refill. It's 2 liters of Stay Soft for up to 30% less.
Man, you got to have game. When it's all sweat, pressure and anxiety, yet that's just halftime. Stay cool and in the game with Imperial Leather for Men range. Wear luxury. A little luxury goes a long way.
A full house this season when the family comes together.
To reconnect.
One thing we do, we watch GoTV. We love it.
GoTV is everyone's favorite place this festive season.
Usimiss out. Get GoTV decoder kwa shilingi 1999.
GoTV. Love it.
Go Ahead is believing to make each day a brighter day. It is our faith to start all over again. Go Ahead is never giving up in the face of adversity. To go ahead, now that is the Kenyan spirit.
Time for business. The government has launched the Credit Guarantee Scheme, a partnership between the public and the private sector to assist micro, small and medium enterprises with the capital needed to withstand the COVID-19 storm. 3 billion shillings was earlier this year set aside for the inaugural Credit Guarantee Scheme towards MSMEs. The government intends to increase that capital to 10 billion shillings in the medium term. There are 7 banks that have been selected to participate in the initial phase of the scheme's rollout. The banks are expected to leverage the amount by up to 4 times in order to increase the funds available for lending to MSMEs.
There is a financing gap for many MSMEs, despite the fact that they are the backbone of our economy. This challenge is highlighted in a 2016 Kenya National Bureau of Statistics MSME survey, which indicates that 71% of MSMEs who borrowed for working capital reported that they received inadequate loans. Lack of collateral was the most commonly reported cause for inadequate loans for MSMEs.
The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics indicate that over 7.4 million of MSMEs in the country, which employs 14.9 million Kenyans in various sectors of the economy and contributes about 40% to GDP. The National Treasury embarked on an all-inclusive process of fast-tracking its operationalization. It's not been an easy journey. Getting banks here, and you are talking about either reducing their profit or giving them opportunity that, better opportunity to the MSMEs, when weighed against their risk, has not been a very easy engagement.
Kenya has managed to beat the clock to the 31st of December 2020 deadline to sign an Economic Partnership Agreement, EPA, with the United Kingdom. This follows the conclusion of recent negotiations between the two countries, even as the UK's negotiations with the European Union on Brexit continue to run out of time. The agreement on the trade post-Brexit, replicates the effect of the East African Community's EPA with the EU that facilitates EAC exports free of duties and quotas to the EU market. Here's Betty Minor, the Cabinet Secretary for Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, explaining why Kenya had to unilaterally negotiate with the UK.
Kenya is a member of the East African Community. It's a founding member of the East African Community. Kenya negotiated the Economic Partnership Agreement with Europe with other East African countries. In negotiating this agreement with the UK alone, this was not the desired path. We would have liked to negotiate with the other East African countries, but we had a deadline. We had a deadline of 31st December 2020, after which the terms of trade with the UK would have been less favorable to Kenya than other East African countries because Kenya is classified as a developing country. So the cabinet decided that we proceed to negotiate an agreement with the United Kingdom, but provide in it a possibility for accession by the other East African countries, because the UK would have also liked to negotiate with the entire region as one. But our partners were not ready to negotiate this in time for 31st December. We actually proposed, we all proposed in East Africa an extension of time to try and do it by the end of next year. But there was no possibility, there's no framework that would be available for Kenya to trade with the UK under favorable terms.
Should the government go ahead and do away with the financial relief measures it had introduced to cushion the public and businesses against the effects of COVID-19 pandemic? I guess your answer is no. It plans to do so, however, but there is a school of thought emerging that the move could become counterproductive. Dr. Mukhisa Kitui, the Secretary General of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, had this to say on the matter at the ongoing second edition of the Kusi Ideas Festival that is taking place in Kisumu.
To the President of Kenya, thank you very much for very innovative ideas that he had in introducing some tax waivers, 5% reduction of personal income tax, and so on. I would like to suggest humbly that you do not suspend those waivers when we're still in the middle of the pandemic. Continue with those waivers until the alternative mechanisms that you have announced are in place, then you can remove this. Specific actions are necessary. Africa must learn that there is no opportunity to grow through trade without trading with Africa. Africa's exports to the rest of Africa are 42% value added. Africa's export to the rest of the world are 15% value added. So it's no brainer. We create more jobs, we add more value when we trade with neighbors, with Africa, than we trade with the rest of the world. Politicians, as custodians of regional integration initiatives, should not start owning the integration that they can turn on and turn off. We hear very hostile and necessary pettiness in the dialogue across borders, which is taking us backwards instead of preparing to learn from our past mistakes to prepare for the continental free trade area.
There is a silver lining in the COVID-19 pandemic, believe it or not, in countries that ride on the wave of the lessons learned from the effects of the pandemic could actually enhance growth in some of their key sectors. Where did we get that idea from? The ongoing Kusi Ideas Festival.
What the global disruptions of the global supply chains have actually meant in terms of the continent, it's also meant that it's created an opportunity for the localization of supply chains, creating an opportunity from an African perspective for us to create or even grow our manufacturing capacity. And let me take some time here to say, so when you're talking about how banks are viewing banking assets or how banks are viewing what is happening in the African economy, you're looking at growth sectors, you're looking at sectors that have had some serious challenges, but you're also looking at something that is starting to emerge where you're seeing countries trying to take ownership, and we're seeing this across retailers, pharmaceuticals, where you're starting to see efforts to localize supply chains within the continent.
And that note closes Business News Bulletin. We continue with more after the break.
The county government of Kilifi, with approval of His Excellency the Governor, Honorable Amason Jeffa Kingi, has granted 100% waiver extension on all interest and penalty accrued on outstanding land rates and single business permit fees. Property owners in Kilifi County are advised to take advantage of the waiver period that starts from 1st December and ends on 31st December 2020, on condition that the principal rates and single business permit fees are paid in full. Property owners are advised to obtain invoices from the Sub-County Revenue Office where the property is located and make payment by depositing cash or banker's check to our bank account. Once the waiver period lapses, the county government will institute all necessary measures to recover any unpaid rates and penalties, including repossessing the property. Tulipe ushuru, tujenge Kilifi.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa. Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hi, guy, what the? Let them know irritation.
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
New Nestle Ceravita with Grain Smart, a smart combination of vitamins, iron, and minerals that gives children the nutrients they need for a great start for school. New Nestle Ceravita with Grain Smart, also available in a small, affordable pack.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Fun and food got together beautifully at GMC Place. Enjoy our succulent meals in a serene setting with a varied choice of fun games for the little ones. Cup it up with a cuppa or a cocktail, all available to your taste. Discover the joy of a warm pool by diving into the Blue Oasis heated pool. Or at GMC Place, the fun never ends. Make your reservation today on 0701 560 560.
Your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
Welcome back. The Kenya Wildlife Services hopes to have you and I travel across the country this festive season on an affordable budget. This is due to what the institution says is a sharp decline in local and international tourism in the country. In order to enable you enjoy all of Kenya's flora and fauna in the wild, KWS hopes the campaign will encourage Kenyans to take advantage of the rich attractions in the country. The campaign, titled Zuru Kenya, will uphold all COVID-19 prevention guidelines when allowing residents to tour the various national parks and game reserves. Visitors will also be gifted with hampers from KWS to encourage them to travel more. This comes after Kenya was awarded the World's Best Safari Destination Award by the World Travel Awards.
Because of the over-dependence on international visitation, we dropped our income, the conservation fees we collect by 90% drop.
Every day before COVID, we had thousands and thousands of tourists coming from abroad, foreign countries to come and Zuru Kenya and see what we have in terms of wildlife. So that means there is something. So I will urge Kenyans, wajitokeleze, wakuje, wajione, because there is a lot.
Don't know why I'm tempted to say jabo jabo, guys, but anyway. Just how difficult is it to convince the electorate to elect enough women to parliament? The political elites in the country tend to believe it is very difficult, and thus the reasoning behind the desire to nominate more women with the net effect of expanding the numbers in parliament. NTV senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Mureithi sampled voices from different groups on this subject.
Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga may not agree on so many things politically, including some of the matters in the Building Bridges Initiative report, but agree on additional numbers in Parliament.
But we are of the view that instead of too much nomination, we should again elect women reps as we have done to National Assembly.
The Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 proposes that the 2022 Parliament constitutes 360 constituencies, 70 more from the 290 captured in the 2010 Constitution. What will see the numbers rise exponentially is the proposal to have the number of special seat members necessary to ensure that no more than 2/3 of the membership of Parliament are of the same gender. This proposal, just like that by Deputy President William Ruto, will see over 500 MPs in the 13th Parliament. The proposed top-up, just like it was in the 2013 and 2017 elections, targets women as chances of legislation to actualize the requirement on 2/3 fades away. It was the failure by Parliament to enact this legislation that triggered the advisory by the Chief Justice to the President that he dissolves Parliament. The Federation of Women Lawyers in the country, FIDA, believes there has been serious lack of political will from President Uhuru Kenyatta, Deputy President William Ruto, and ODM leader Raila Odinga to have Parliament pass laws relating to the realization of gender parity.
Every time these bills are before Parliament, can they please whip their members to order? And they have not done so.
FIDA wants women to reject the proposed amendments carried in the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, saying it serves no other purpose other than reserve the top-up seats for women.
The language of nomination and top-up will, in our view, create animosity from Kenyans and make women face this muzigo, which will result in hostility towards women's representation.
Why should we have women being topped up? This is a messaging that will even create bias at community level.
Interestingly, the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 has a requirement that Parliament should enact legislation to provide for sanctions for a political party that fails to comply with the principle that not more than 2/3 of the party's candidates are of the same gender. However, it does not give timelines, an oversight that may see the proposal shelved for some time. Out of the 290 MPs elected in single constituencies in 2017, only 16 were women. There have been a number of attempts to actualize gender parity in Parliament, and 2 of those attempts have actually made it to the floor of the House. However, women leaders have been accused of not being too keen on it, as they have either not lobbied enough or have stayed away when that matter came to the floor of the House. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV in Nairobi County.
Now we're taking another break. It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Sports news is up next.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Piga *444# utunukiwe Credo double.
Lakewood Emerald School, Kitengela. Lakewood Emerald School, Kitengela is a leading day and boarding learning institution located in the outskirts of Kitengela town. We offer high-quality education services that are globally competitive. Our vision is to be the global leader in the provision of quality, affordable, and holistic education. It is a sister school to Lakewood School, Comarock, and Lakewood Premier Utawala.
Roofing Insights. When roofing, choose custom-made roofing mabati that saves up to 25% on off-cut cost. Ensure the company has variety of colors and profiles to choose from. Must be KEBS certified and provide fast and free delivery countrywide. You can now enjoy our Christmas mega sales on all tile profile, charcoal grey, matte finish gauge 28 at only 645 shillings per meter. Visit any of our factory showrooms in Kitengela along Namanga Roads or Meru Makutano.
This Christmas, jaza kwa sababu there's a whooping 1 million bob to be won. All you have to do ni kupiga shopping worth 1,500 and above. Na uko ndani ya draw. Krisi, ibambe na Quickmart. Quickmart, fresh and easy.
Fun and food got together beautifully at GMC Place. Enjoy our succulent meals in a serene setting with a varied choice of fun games for the little ones. Cup it up with a cuppa or a cocktail, all available to your taste. Discover the joy of a warm pool by diving into the Blue Oasis heated pool. Or at GMC Place, the fun never ends. Make your reservation today on 0701 560 560.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Did you know at Ruiru Mabati Factory you can open an account and lipa pole pole at your convenience? Did you know at Ruiru Mabati Factory you can get customized sizes according to your roof plan to avoid wastage? Did you know Ruiru Mabati Factory offers free delivery countrywide within 72 hours?
To order, call us now on 0111 050 700. Ruiru Mabati Factory, mali safi kwa bei poa.
Maxi!
Pinky?
No, na siku hizi umeamua kudowngrade. I'm sorry, who are you? I'm his girlfriend.
Hey!
Rhyme, umesikia? Mimi nafanya hizi vitu zote kwa sababu nakupenda.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa eh?
Kuna pombe yako nimekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana na sera.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
Let's kick it with some sports now. International defender David Cheche Ochieng believes that he has what it takes to help Mathare United win the BetKing Premier League title this season for the first time since 2008. Cheche joined the Slum Boys after leaving Al Ansar, of Saudi Arabia. Cheche's dreams hangs in the balance as Mathare United is yet to commit to playing in the FKF-led league.
Naweza leta tu experience kidogo na kuna vijana wengi na kuwaonesha njia kwa sababu pia mimi naamini ya kwamba kwa hizi safari kidogo nimepiga niko na experience kidogo naweza onesha ama kusaidia vijana wadogo hapa juu pia kesho tutakuwa na wacheche wengine wengi. Watu wameanza mazoezi siku kama 4 zimepita kwa sababu ya government pia kwa imekubalisha watu kutrain na pia nyakati ilikuwa imekubalisha kidogo ingepata watu 4 5 wanapambana na as a team nafaa kuanyi wote mazoezini but hizi kwa excuse kwa sababu team zote that zimekuwa zikitrain apart from maybe teams zimeanza kucheza CAF na hizi za nje safari mpira huwezi jua lakini naweza sema lazima uanze na game kadhaa ndo mjue kwa sababu kama sasa hivi unaweza pata team nyingine zishacheza game moja after ushacheza game ya kwanza ya pili unaweza jua kama tuko vizuri ama tuko pabaya turekebishe lakini mapema sana kusema kuhusu ligi but naweza furahi sana kama tuweza shinda ligi na Mathare United.
8 zonal FKF Women Premier League matches have been scheduled to kick off the 2020-2021 season this weekend, with Makolanders opening the Zone A games against Kibera Girls Soccer Academy. Eldoret Falcons are set to kick off Zone B games against Trans Nzoia Falcons at the Kenyatta Stadium in Kitale. 3-time champions Vihiga Queens will play against Wadaria on Saturday at the Mumia Sports Complex, while Gaspo women play against Ztech Sparks at the Ruiru grounds. Newly promoted Nakuru West Queens will face off against Oserian Ladies at the Oserian grounds on Sunday, with Ruiru grounds hosting the match between Thika Queens and Ulinzi Starlets.
Replay.
The national under-17 football team, the Emerging Stars, is in Rwanda, ready to kick off the upcoming CECAFA Championships, which will be played between December 12th and December 22nd. Coach Oliver Page traveled with a strong squad, which largely features players who formed part of the FKF Center of Excellence squad that reached the final of the CECAFA Under-17 Championships last year. England-based James Gachago is the team captain, while 2019 CECAFA Under-15 Championships best goalkeeper Alvin Odari is out to prove his mettle in Rwanda. Kenya is in Group A alongside South Sudan, Uganda and Ethiopia. Group B comprises Rwanda, Tanzania, Sudan and Djibouti. Finalists will earn automatic qualification to the 2021 Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations in Morocco. Danny Ings returned from injury to score a controversial winner from the penalty spot as Southampton came from behind to beat Brighton 2-1 on Monday and climbed to the 5th in the English Premier League. Brighton took the lead from the spot, with Pascal Gross sending goalkeeper Alex McCarthy the wrong way after James Ward-Prowse handled the ball in the area. Jan Vestergaard His rivalry with Cristiano Ronaldo has enthralled football for the better part of a decade, and the pair will duel for potentially the final time when Barcelona host Juventus in the Champions League tonight. The two titans of the modern game, who split ownership of the Ballon d'Or between 2008 and 2017, were the talismans of Spanish giants Barcelona and Real Madrid until Ronaldo left the Spanish capital for Juventus in 2018. Both sides have already qualified for the last 16 from Group G, but Juventus can overtake Barcelona if they win at Camp Nou by 3 goals or more, or by any 2-goal margin other than 2-0. Meanwhile, RB Leipzig coach Julian Nagelsmann says his confident side can seize their chance in tonight's key Champions League match at home to Manchester United, with only the victors assured of a last 16 berth. Ahead of tonight's final round of matches, leaders Man United, PSG and third-placed Leipzig are all on 9 points in Group H. In other matches tonight, Krasnodar are away at Chelsea as Rennes host Sevilla. Look at that, it's a minute past the hour, way past my time for the bulletin. And yes, hoping I have not totally, baptized people in the sports bulletin. A much brighter and shinier bald head will be in this spot tomorrow night for the bulletin. That's in the name of Watson Karuma to handle it for you. And remember, the Kusi Festival, the final day is tomorrow. We'll still be bringing you the highlights throughout the day. Keep safe, have yourself a good night, and thank you to Flora Atieno for the sign language interpretation. Hey, inaongea. Good night.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Maxi!
Pinky?
No, excuse me, could downgrade. I'm sorry, who are you? I'm his girlfriend.
Hey.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa eh?
Kuna pombe yako nimekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana masera.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
On Unscripted with Grace.
Discussing a skin condition which I think and feel has not been given adequate awareness.
I first got vitiligo when I was 14 years. The 3 spots joined into one, and then it continues spreading. Yeah, this is art, and it's not art as per the world standards, but as per God's standards. The person I was dating told me, you know what, I'm actually doing you a favor. I felt if he ever left, who will come and date me? So you have to constantly just talk to yourself, have a little self-talk before you get out of the house.
Only on NTV.
What a relief. Thank you, Gold Crown.
If regular milk makes you feel uncomfortable, try Gold Crown lactose-free milk. Milk that loves you.
On Wednesday, 9th December 2020, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum will join the rest of the world in commemorating this year's International Anti-Corruption Day, an annual event that aims to raise awareness on and help combat corruption in the world. The ceremony themed Recover with Integrity will take place in Kiambu County and will be covered live on NTV from 11 a.m. EACC, tuangamize ufisadi, tujenge Kenya.
When the spirit of Kenya got going that magical day, it never looked back. And now, the same spirit is ready to take Kenya to the next level, led proudly by a new generation. Kenya Kin, Shangilia, Hasulia Kenya.
I'm waking you up to the hottest morning show.
Tina Kagia, The Morning Fix, Nation FM.
Hey, how are you doing? I am Tina Kagia, aka The Voice. And every single morning, starting from 6 up until 10, catch me on The Morning Fix on 96.3 Nation FM, where good music lives. Let's have awesome conversations. Talk about life, love, money, politics, school, education. No topic is out of bounds.
Mornings with Tina Kagia, 96.3.
Nothing but the best of conversations. Talk about your stories, because honestly, it's important to unwind. See you every day.
All the hits with Tina Kagia.
They're my morning show.
The Morning Fix on Nation FM. Nation FM. Where good music lives.
This week on Lit 360.